Will our 12-match unbeaten run come to an abrupt halt today? It's distinctly possible because we're playing the French champions, Paris Saint-Germain. And welcome to episode 54 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have games for you against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League league phase. Yeah, it's the league phase. Match day, I think it's match day 6. Let me just check a minute. I think actually it might be 5. I will double check in a short while when we do a catch up, and that will be followed by a Premier League game against Burnley before we head off to play Liverpool in the Premier League. It's a bit of a tough run that we've got coming up here. Since you were last with us, we have played only one match. We played against Middlesbrough, beat them 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. Ahead of these 2 away games today. Khalidou Koulibaly getting his 3rd goal in 2 games, scoring 2, 7 minutes and 17 minutes, and Kingsley Coman after 25 minutes, getting us on the road to a good comprehensive 3-0 win. 3-0 at half-time. Didn't really do anything after half-time, to be fair. It was a bit of a damp squib after half-time, but all in, we can't complain too much. If we go to the data hub, what we can actually do is, as we like to do, matches. Last match, overall momentum, as you'll see, comprehensive first half, 3-goal lead. They had a little bit. They had about 20 minutes of the second half. We had 25 minutes. It's pretty much even Steven's second half. Let them in a little bit, but they weren't really sort of for scoring. But we might get penalised if we play a better side like we are today against Paris Saint-Germain, who are currently 7th in this league phase of the competition. We have played them twice before in the Champions League quarter-final last season when we thought we were going to get knocked out. Beat them 4-0 at Stamford Bridge, but lost 4-3 at the Parc des Princes. So we actually ended up with a 7-4, my maths is right, 7-4 aggregate win over them. But the Parc des Princes, we lost. So that's got to be eradicated today if we are to progress. And we'll have a look at the Champions League phase table. It is 5th match day game. It is the 5th match day today. That's what I was trying to say. We are 5th in the Championship. I think, as I keep repeating myself, just in case you've missed it, this new format of the Champions League, the first top 8 go through automatically to the knockout stages, the round of 16. The teams from 9th down to 24th all play off against one another for the other 8 places to join the other teams in the knockout stages, the last 16. So in a way, it is imperative that we block ourselves in this top 8. So a result today would go some way to actually achieving that for sure. So we'll fingers crossed that is what we can deliver today, or at very least a draw, I guess. So that's first match-up. Second match-up is against Burnley. Burnley currently 18th in the Premier League. Got promoted last season out of the Championship. And we're at Turf Moor for that second game. No history in this save so far. So we seem to have missed them over the 3 seasons or so that we've been here. Let's go to the Premier League. That win against Middlesbrough did put us top again for a very short space of time until Manchester City played. And they are 1 point in front of us on 29 points. A goal difference of 19. We're second on 28 with a goal difference of 15. Then there's a 3-point gap down to Liverpool and Wolves on 25. Manchester United, Tottenham 5th on 23. Then come Manchester United 6th on 22. Newcastle 7th on 20th. And then just outside the European places, Everton, Arsenal and Brighton all on 18. In the relegation zone at the moment, Burnley, Bournemouth and Blackburn, all three of them came up this season. That is pretty much all there is to tell. I think it's time that we got on with the episode and see if we can get that result against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. It's match day 5. Can we get a result? Let's go and find out. We're going to Paris and the Parc de France. And this is the team that will face Paris Saint-Germain. Mendy is in goal. He missed the last game. Karnasechi was in goal for him and had a good game, to be honest. So Mendy needs to watch himself, else he will be replacing him, because Karnasechi has had a good run of games today and is on very, very good form. So, I think certainly last 5 games he's worth a place and may well play against Burnley, and if he has a good game against them, might push Mendy out. Chilwell is back on the left-hand side of the defence. Eric Garcia and Koulibaly, who had a fantastic couple of games. Koulibaly, to be fair, scoring 3 goals as well. That's our central defence. Reece James on the right, and then we have Rice and Timber as the defensive midfielders. Fernandes in front of them playing as an advanced playmaker. As Rodrigo and Sterling out wide, with Havertz as the advanced forward. Karnasechi, Fofana, Milenkovic-Savic, Barbosa, Cucurella, Mount, Tell, Xhaka, Otavio, Broja, Kovacic and Koeman are on a 12-man bench. And we have the Champions League screens up as we do. Paris Saint-Germain playing a 4-2-3-1. Mbappe leading the attack. And we're playing a 4-2-3-1. Something very similar to that. It doesn't look like as it does on the screen. And the referee picks the ball up. The match ball. Here at the Parc de France. Our first highlight, 5 minutes in. And did I see Foden playing for Paris Saint-Germain there? We'll check that out in a minute. Messi through there. Oh, and good save by Mendy, and Koulibaly gets rid of it. And it was Fabian, not Foden. And we've not had much of this game, and but we've managed to thwart Paris Saint-Germain up until now. Looks like James has picked up a knock. We'll have to keep an eye on him in a minute. Neymar through to Rafa. Rafa scores the first goal, 6th goal of the season, and it was coming. Just turned the half-hour mark, 33 minutes on the clock, and they go 1 up. Neymar Jr. through to Rafa, and then it's a 1-on-1 with Mendy, and James with a throw in to Koulibaly. Timber, James, Fernandes, Havertz through to Sterling, Enzo, Timber, tried to thread that through to Havertz, didn't get there. Rodrigo wins the ball back though. Rodrigo chips it over. Sterling's come back off the crossbar. Sterling has another go, and again. They have a corner. Neymar with a corner. It's headed clear by Garcia. Hernandez just heads it upfield. Nobody there. And if we can get a breakaway here. Ball crossed in, and Mendy saved that. I'm not sure who that was from, but he saved it. Timber. And it's cleared upfield. Mbappe. Messi. Now we're in trouble. We're outnumbered. Oh, and Mendy makes another splendid save. Actually, he's done reasonably well up to now. Kept him at bay. Neymar. Havertz clears it. And it's, again, clearing our lines, but not only as far as Rafa. Chilwell nearly won that ball. And half-time comes. And, it's been a bit of a torrid first half. If you'll see, they've had 15 shots, of which 7 of them, 50%, are on target. 59% of the possession. Struggled for possession. We've struggled full stop. 2.21 on the XG. We've had 2 shots. One has come off the woodwork, Sterling's header. And had that been 1-1, it would have made it for an interesting game. Need to just have a look and see what's what at half-time. But Mendy having a good game. He's made some real saves. We could have been 3 or 4 down by now. But he's been playing reasonably well. So let's hope he continues in the second half. And before we watch this first highlight of the second half, we can tell you that Reece came off at half-time. Timber has gone back into the right-back position. And we have brought on Kovacic in midfield, where Timber was playing, having dropped back. We've also changed our formation to a 4-2-3-1 formation. And with that, we have a highlight. Kovacic about to take a free kick. Our first highlight of the second half. It's 61 minutes in. Goes to Garcia. Chilwell. Rodrigo looking to get back into this game. Rice goes on a bit of an overlap. And looking, and he's lost the ball. But Garcia tidies up. Chilwell. Kovacic. And he's been sort of tackled and lost the ball. Kovacic, Timber still alive. And Timber's not got the speed on that. And they defend well. Won it back though. Timber, Sterling, he's in the area. It's chipped in and it's gone out for a corner. It's come off one of the defenders. Chilwell with a corner on that far side, an in-swinger. And it's headed over the top. And they have a free kick. Neymar with the free kick. Didn't do much with that. Havertz doing a defensive header, but only heading it back. Kovacic, Sterling trying to win that ball. Didn't win it. And they continue to attack, which is also causing us problems. Don't want to go a second one. And that's come back off the woodwork. And Mendy making a save. He's continuing to play well. But they have a corner. Neymar with the corner. An outswinger. Swung out, but Mendy catches that. And with 66 minutes on the clock, we've made 4 changes to try and get this back. I say 4 changes. We'd already changed Kovacic at half time, but so we made 3 more. Mason Mount has come on in place of Declan Rice in the deep line playmaker role. And then we have also taken off Rodrigo has been replaced by Kingsley Coman and Havertz, who really wasn't doing it up front at all. I think they pretty much marked him out of the game. We put Gabriel Barbosa on for him to see if he can open up the defence. Chilwell is getting tired and will need to be replaced, but we'll see if we can get another 10 minutes or so out of him. Garcia to Chilwell as we get another highlight. Nothing happened since those changes. Mount has moved to attacking playmaker role instead of Fernandes. Kovacic and Fernandes, and looks like it's a corner. I thought might have been a penalty there for a minute, but Chilwell with this corner swings it in. It's headed clear, but only as far as Kovacic, and they clear it upfield. Corner, Neymar with the corner, swings it in. Kovacic heads it out. Koeman. And Sterling doing a bit of defensive work there. We need to win this ball off of them. And they're creating lots of space, but he's fired that over the top. And with 77 minutes on the clock, Sterling was getting tired, as is a number of other players. And I'm not sure whether I've done the right thing, but we've taken off Sterling and we've brought on Matthias Tell. He swapped places with Barbosa. Still that 1 goal behind. See if we can get that breakthrough. Well, it's not the result we wanted, but I guess under the scheme of things, we didn't do too badly, and we managed to contain them by efforts of Eduardo Mendy having an exceedingly good game. A number of our other players not playing particularly well. Kovacic having another good game once he came on, but against Paris Saint-Germain, it was hard. Rafa getting the goal after 33 minutes, but it was the only goal in the end, and it wasn't our best of games. We only had 2 shots on target, 43% of the possession, 11 shots all told, where they had 21 shots, 7 on target, 2.96, 57% of the possession. Yeah, I think we need to we got 2 reasonable games coming up against Sevilla, and I can't remember what the other one is now, but we need to win those 2 games as we go into Borussia Dortmund in the last game of the qualifying league phase, and we need to do that. Let's have a look, see how that leaves the Champions League table. Well, that win by Paris Saint-Germain helps them up into 3rd place in the table, 12 points from 5 games. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich up there with them as well. Borussia Dortmund down in 16th, and it's not really what we want because they will be fighting for their place when it comes to it. But Sevilla, who I think we face next, are right behind us in 11 points. So it's a 6-pointer there. Quite an interesting match. And, well, yes, it's all to play for. We're only just outside, dropped down to 10th place after that particular round of matches. And we'll be hoping that we can progress. Ferravar was the other side that we've got to play. Hopefully we'll be able to get a result against them. But yeah, it's a bit of a topsy-turvy league thing, this, isn't it? Because you never sort of, it's a bit mixed up who you're going to play, and especially when you got a big side like Paris Saint-Germain away from home, it all muddles it up a little bit. But anyway, only 1 goal, so the goal difference wasn't smashed to pieces, as it turned out. So we survive for another day, and still with the opportunity to get in there. A draw would have been, I think, a fairer result possibly, but we didn't really perform in order to achieve that. Nothing, no sparks, no special things, no real effort to score a goal either, really, apart from Sterling's woodwork hit. Right, let's go through then and have a look. Next game up is that Premier League game against Burnley. And Burnley, as I said, when we looked earlier, we haven't played them before. I seem to have missed them one way or another, but they are 18th in the Premier League at the moment, so it should be a reasonable game, apart from the fact we've just played in the Champions League, which will knock us a bit about for tiredness, but it's a trip to Turf Moor next. And the team that will face Burnley in this Premier League game at Turf Moor, it's Mendy in goal. In fact, I was actually going to twiddle this around. Mendy had a good game against Paris Saint-Germain, but Kananeschi, I think, really deserves a start up front. So we're going to start him in goal today. Kananeschi, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Fofana and Garcia, our defensive line. Mount and Kante in front of them as the defensive midfielders. Savic, Milenkovic-Savic in front of them as the advanced playmaker. Does actually say central midfield, but as a central midfielder, perhaps we will set it as that. Sterling then on the left, and Otavio out on the right. Mateus Tell gets the nod up front as Havertz is tired and off a little bit of form as well. On the bench then, Mendy, Rice, Kovacic, Barbosa, Chilwell, Koeman, Rodrigo, Xhaka and Havertz. Question is, should Kovacic be starting really? He's had He's had a good start. I'm just wondering whether to start him in front of Kante, actually. Let's start him in front of Kante. Kante can go on the bench. So final changes then, and that is how the team will look going into this game against Burnley. And this is how the two teams face off for this one. Vincent Kompany, the manager at Burnley, having got them promoted last season. It's Muric in goal, Toure, Perez, Dickey, Kafath are the defensive line. Cullen and Hadzimetrovic, I hope I pronounced that right, in central midfield. Nakajima, Livaja and Teller are the attacking midfield, with Weghorst up front, and on the bench, Peacock, Farrell, Taylor, Kalinov, Spence, Omar, Thomas, Sheridan, Armstrong and Rhodes. We have a corner. Mount, Koulibaly, and not sure what happened there. And another highlight. Cucurella tries to get it forward. Sterling. Sergi, who was robbed, was pickpocketed. And Burnley come forward. There's a bit of a worry, but Cucurella tidies up. Back to Kanasecchi. Cucurella. Mount. Koulibaly. Going forward now. Tell to Sterling. Sterling creates a bit of space. Garcia tries to thing it through. Otavio! And Mateus Tell gets his fourth of the season. Otavio with the assist. And Tell was in the right place. Made hard work of this first half by the looks of it. Garcia, and it caught a deflection. Otavio across, and Tell put into an empty net. Question of whether he was offside. At this point, questionable. And half-time comes. That Mateus goal. Sorry. The Mateus Tell. I'm not sure what happened there. If you saw it go blank, worried me for a minute. Mateus Tell, after a minute into injury time in that first half, giving us the nose in front at half-time. 12 shots, 6 on target, 50%, 1.44. We've hit the woodwork once. It seems to be since the new release has come out, 70% of the possession. They've had 7 shots, 4 of which have been on target, 0.49, 30% of the possession. I think they've had too many shots and too many shots on target for the amount of possession they had. Need to find out what's been going on. And they have a free kick. First highlight of the second half. But Kanasecchi comes out and gets that first minute. And the highlight continues. Forward. Sterling didn't quite get there. It's headed forward again. Sterling. Sterling crosses it into the midfield. Kovacic nearly got it. Sergi's been fouled and sending off. And another highlight for Fofana. 51 minutes in. A long throw. Didn't go anywhere. Back to Fofana. Fofana's in the area. Crosses it's come back off the woodwork again. And I think that's something that may be a bug that's happened since the update, the winter update. And Muric with the goal kick. And it's headed on, but Fofana's there to tidy up. Cucurella. Sterling. Crosses. Lovely crossfield ball for Garcia, who just kicked the ball aimlessly in front of him for some reason. Kovacic. Garcia. Playing in that right wing back because we've got injuries and players out at the moment on that side. But they've cleared their lines. Weghorst. And we're still only 1 goal in front, which is a bit of a worry. Otavio through to Tell and pulls a save out of the goalkeeper. It was a bit lame in the end. And you come back and join us. 17 minutes on the clock. 3 of our 5 changes made. And we've first of all taken off Savic, who we hope isn't too badly injured. He's picked up an injury and he's substituted. We've brought Xhaka on for him and moved Mount up front. We've replaced Kovacic with Kante, which was the switch we made, and give Kovacic a start right at the start of the game. And he's had a good game as well. So just a little bit tired now, but he's played a good 70 minutes. and done very well. And Raheem Sterling, he's tiring. Only a 6.7. We bring Kingsley Coman on for him. We can still make 2 changes. A free kick just inside our half. Fofana to Mount to Koulibaly. Fofana comes forward to Otavio. Garcia threads it in. Xhaka. Cucurella has been sort of like thingied in the penalty area, and that could well be a penalty. Mason Mount is on the pitch, and I would expect him, and it might be Matthias Tell. Don't know. It is a penalty. He was tripped, and it's Mount because he's got his armband on. Mason Mount then, short run up, and he gets his 6th goal of the season. And we go 2 up after 78 minutes, and I think that probably puts it to bed. Not been at our best again. Tired probably from the Paris Saint-Germain game. And you come back with 82 minutes on the clock. Final 2 changes then. We would really like to take Garcia off because he is very, very tired. But we don't have another right back and nobody else that can play in that place. So we can't take him off. We have taken Cucurella off and brought on Ben Chilwell in that right wing back position. I think what I'm actually going to do here is I'm actually going to put him on a support role, which should quieten him down a little bit. And we'll go to a positive just to see the game out. The other change that we have made, who's the other one that's come off? Cucurella come off. I think we have changed everybody else, hadn't we? I thought we had 2 changes to make. Maybe we didn't. Oh, yes. Koulibaly has come off. Khalidou Koulibaly has come off for Declan Rice. That was the other change that we made. So Declan is on. We'll see the game out in that defensive position. He can't play in the right-hand side either. So there we go. And we have a highlight. Rice with the free kick goes out wide to Koeman. Koeman who's tackled, but Chilwell wins the ball back. Chilwell just come on, of course, crossed that in nicely, but didn't find anybody. Rice, Xhaka goes out wide to Otavio, who's had a splendid game. Kante, Garcia, it's headed into the area. Chilwell has a shot from just outside the area, just gone over. Chilwell with a throw in to Rice. Rice, Kante, Fofana, Otavio, Fofana, Garcia, and gave that ball away, Garcia. Tell he's tired. That ball launched forward. Chilwell heads it back to Karnasechi. Karnasechi out to Garcia. So his pass is a bit better this time. He's got round his player, but he's got it through. Didn't really take us in. And Otavio will get a second bite of the cherry there. And it's his 2nd goal of the season. It's 3-0. 3 minutes into injury time. And Otavio, a little bit fortunate there. Lovely through ball threaded in. Otavio beat the goalkeeper. It came back off the post. Straight to Otavio, and he had a 2nd go at it. And it's all over. It is a 3-0 win. Matthias Tell opening the scoring a minute into injury time in the first half. A bit of a lacklustre first half, to be fair. Mason Mount from the penalty spot after 78. Otavio 3 minutes into injury time in the second half. 27 shots, 12 of which were on target. 3.59 on the XG, 67% of the possession. They had 9 shots. 4 on target, 0.70, 33% of the possession. Good day at the office, and Otavio rounding off a player of the match form. Doesn't get many starts, does Otavio, and there's a question mark over whether we should start him more often. He's certainly been playing a lot better than the likes of Koeman and trying to think Rodrigo in those wide players. So I think he may get another start fairly soon. So this is how it looks. We have played. Manchester City are playing Liverpool, and they are playing in one of the late games. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in a minute and see what the result from that game is to see how we've ended up the episode. But as it is at the moment, again, we by virtue of the fact that we played before Manchester City, we are actually top of the table again, 31 points from 13 games. It's not bad going. 18 goal difference. Let's see how Manchester City get on against Liverpool then. Burnley now on the bottom of the table by virtue of that loss today against us. Blackburn and Bournemouth just in front of them, but then there's a little bit of a gap up to Norwich in 17th place. Let's have a look then. Blackburn did win today, 4-1 against Aston Villa. Let's have a look and see what the Manchester City-Liverpool game is, and then we'll round up the episode. And it's good news, boys and girls. Well, it's two reasons, but also something else that's coming up on the horizon, which we need to be very careful of before we get ahead of ourselves. We have actually stayed top of the table after the Manchester City game. Manchester City losing to Liverpool. Gomez scoring after 83 minutes. A draw would have probably been a better result for us there, but as it is, Manchester City have lost. We are top by 2 points, but 3 points clear of Liverpool, and we play Liverpool next. That's the problem. We would stay in front of them, depending on his goal difference. Isn't a lot in it, to be fair. But yeah, it's very tight at the top here, and it could change again. We need a win against Liverpool for once in our lives. We need a win against Liverpool, but today and now is the time to do it. We'll see. But yeah, Manchester City losing for just the second time of the season against Liverpool. They lost to Everton, so lost to the two Merseyside sides, as it's turned out. Right, so there we go. Top of the table at the end of the episode. That can't be bad, can it? It really can't be bad. We are going to come back for Tottenham and Sevilla in the next episode. So Champions League phase before the break for the winter break in everywhere else. But we'll then come back for the final two games in the league phase. But this being the sixth game of the league phase coming up. So Tottenham, Sevilla, and then the episode after that, Northampton and Brighton, taking us down to Christmas time and the transfer window, of course. Not a bad episode. I know we lost to Paris Saint-Germain, but a good win against Burnley has sent us top of the table at the end of the episode. And we need to get that win against Liverpool. I'll let you know how we get on at the start of the next episode. And then a local derby against Tottenham. The only virtue is both those games are at home. How have we done against Liverpool? We have beaten them both times at Stamford Bridge, so that's a good omen. The last prior to that, we hadn't had a good time, but we have beaten them the last twice at Stamford Bridge. Let's hope, and very close matches on both occasions. Let's hope we can do the same again this time. Which is the only place you can't seem to beat them is at Anfield. So we need to put that right later in the season. But for now, a win at home would be very good. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button to keep you up to date with all future episodes of this and new series as they are released. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And the best thing to do, if you want to keep up to date with what's happening, when stuff's released, new series, all the rest of it, is follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 55. It's out on Friday. And let's hope it can be a Friday with a big bang and we can finish and go into the weekend, on top of the Premier League and also in a very comfortable position in the Champions League phase, with the chance of qualifying for the last 16. Fingers crossed. See you next time. Bye-bye.